Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Yiddish Masi Mimeros Yeruspas Mordechai. Shkoyach for coming. Thanks. It means a lot to me. The Shabbos of Achdus coming up. This is September 5th. Parshas Nitzon V'Yelech here in Eretz Yisrael, the Dead Sea. I want to name some of the sponsors. Michael Chesel, 10,000 shekel. Alex Katz and his family, 25,000 shekel, platinum status. And then somebody else, L'Refuat Baruch Ben Miriam, 25,000 shekel. Partners, Adar Global, Yishkoyach Aryeh Simon from Adar Global, 50,000 shekel. And anonymous from Brooklyn, L'Refuat Isamar, with the S. Isamar Ephraim Ben Chaya Blima. We're still looking for some sponsors. Every penny helps. MDY official edition of Mesechtes Bechoros. Mesechtes Bechoros, sponsored Davim Mesechta. All the prokim were already sponsored. Many dapim already sponsored. A few dapim still available. Have your name in there. L'netzach netzachim. Bechoros is going to be better than Chullin, and the Mesechta after Bechoros is going to be better than Bechoros. It gets better and better We plan on basically on Bechoros. We probably will be having a picture per Amid or Daf? Per Amid. Picture per Amid. The average is a picture per Amid. Geschmacka pictures, illustrations. This is a real...
The Masechta is still available for sponsorship.
It is? Yeah. He spoke to me yesterday. He said he has somebody. Okay, the actual Masechta...
It's not done yet.
Or the Masechta, that's what it says. Sponsored Daf or the Masechta, the actual Masechta. Shas is sponsored, the Masechta, we had the Shulov sponsoring Chullin, as we saw, but this one is still available. I got it. This is a big simcha for MDY. This is Tzvi Kagan at his own chasana. We heard the story yesterday. And Tzvi Shapiro, Mark Ashkenazi. And Rav Nachman is not here, but check this out.
Now, it's a gift that never ends.
Okay, Givaldi. It just shows how much it means to him. In the middle of a day, how do you say gibush in English? No. It's to uplift, to strengthen the bond.
Retreat.
No, I don't think so. But there's a day of retreat for the Chaver Kedisha. There's a Jew that never is mevater. How do you say mevater? Benzi Fireberg always does the daf. He's the last year of Miami. You're an inspiration. Always learning the daf, even on a plane. This is very special. This is Nafusi. If you know him, you know him. So over here, his family got him a picture of him learning, and each one wrote something. So listen to this. I had no idea how big what?
Team building.
I told you to build I had no idea of how big of a challenge this is. I hadn't talked about it everyone, but not only do you keep going and never skip a daf, whether simple, very challenging one, but you also are very humble and never boast about it. I watch with awe and I'm very proud of you, says his wife, and down for our kids to learn from your mother. Sneeze and hope and pray that the persistence continues gets you to Big Siyum B'Meher B'Karev, which is 2 years away from him. His daughter Livy says, I'm so wowed by your persistence. It's hard to wake up so early, but you do it even if you only slept for a very few hours. I'm always so proud to say that my father wakes up at nets. I wish you lots of atzlacha with all you do. Can't wait to get to your Big Siyum in 2 years. Vigail, a very special person, never gives up, always sticks to his goal, learns a daf early in the morning, late at night. Hope to learn from your asmada. Can't believe they finished the Masechta. And then the little baby put her fingerprints on the bottom. So there's a whole mishpacha together over here. They're very proud of him. It's beautiful. Now listen, this was one of the best videos anybody ever sent me. It's in Hebrew, but I'm sharing it with you. I asked them. It's almost good. Some of them is interesting, but this is the barber that I read his email yesterday. The barber from Haifa. And listen what he has to say. And at the end, there's a big surprise also. I couldn't believe it.
אז בין הזמנים נגמר, התחיל זמן אלול. ואני רוצה לשתף אתכם במשהו קטן, אני חושב שהרבה הזדהו איתי. לא יצויר שמישהו היה ניגש אליי שנה שעברה, לפני שנתיים, בבין הזמנים. הוא אומר לי, פאל, קח גם מורה, תלמד משהו. סברי להניח שהייתי מגלגל אותו מכל המדרגות. מי אתה? למה אתה מתערב לי בכלל? מה לי ולגמרא? אבל אחרי כמעט שנה של לימוד מדי יום עם אלי סטפנסקי, ב-MDY, במוקד, בבית, במספרה, לא משנה איפה, למדתי לאהוב את הגמרא מחדש. הכרתי את כל עולם הלימוד מחדש. היום אני כבר לא מרגיש שמישהו מכריח אותי ללמוד. היום כיף לי. אני ניגש לתוך הגמרא מתוך אהבה, מתוך שמחה. אני פשוט נהנה מזה. אם פעם בשבילי לשבת לימודי הסבל, היום זה כיף לי. והנה, הגיע בין הזמן עם אב, תשפ"ו, ואני מוצא את עצמי יום יושב ולומד את הדף. בין אם זה באוטובוס, בין אם זה ברכבת, עם הילדים, בלי הילדים, במוקד בביתר, בנסיעה ברכב, ואפילו אחרי מנגל, אחרי שחייה על שפת הירדן, זה הכי כיף. והדבר הכי גדול, זה שכל הבן הזמנים, כבר יותר מחודש וחצי לא נגעתי בכלל לסיגרות. וכל זה, לזכות אלי סטפנסקי. אז אם אתה רוצה, זה הזמן שלך. תצטרף היום.
You hear this? It's beautiful. He didn't smoke for a month and a half. And then somebody else said, I didn't touch a cigarette for a month and a half. Somebody else, where's Kay? Where's Kay? We have maybe, I hope he's okay.
So he goes back to England to work.
No, not anymore. We have to see if he's still off his cigarettes. The official edition of the Shas, the Masechta. Here, this is what we're looking for B'chayres. Zev and Yael Sholof sponsored the Masechta, the entire Chullin. Perek Shmini, Samlof, Pels, and Kennedy families, dedicated to the memory of Gershom ben Menachem, Yosef ben Tzvi Hirsch, Yitzchak ben Mendel Aleim Shalom. Daf Kuf Yud, Yaakov Yocheved Granik, with gratitude, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, for our wonderful children and family. Thank you, Hashem. The Masechta, not the official edition, this Masechta is sponsored by David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Avimayr, Reb Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv, Zichron Levracha. The Palestine Family Foundation, yesterday, because I'm just remembering, David Salomon sent me regards from Yidel Werdiger, who was here at last night's shir. So there's a little debate whether we went to the same, if we learned in the same class. We learned in the same class, in the same school, but I think we missed each other. Because by the time we realized what year he was there, in Beis Yitzchak's Kver, in Borough Park, so I learned there in his class with his friends. He's 2 years older than me, I was 2 years younger than him. B'kitzer, we missed each other, but he was there. And he was here for shir, v'chulu, v'chulu. The Palestine Family Foundation, may our Limud Torah during Chodesh Elul bring us close to Megula, V'simcha, Anonymous, Hatzlacha, Baruch Hu, V'gashmis, and thank you to Chief Benny, Anonymous, for complete refuah shleima and arichas yom to Leah Bas Esther. Multi-sponsors Chaim and Leah Levy in honor of the MDY family. Anonymous, for my birthday is chus for Hatzlacha and my family, Baruch Hu, V'gashmi, Shmili and Fegi Konig, in honor of Chaim Levy hosting MDY, U'Hatzlacha B'chol Anyonim. The Tzvi's refuah shleima to Rivka Naomi Bas Elisheva Batya, Ari Simon refuah shleima of Yimari Baruch Ben Miriam. The Spanish year sponsors Lil Nishmas, Rav Yishaya ben Rav Yosef, Tzvi Lebetkin, Zech Nishmas Leo Barrow ben Shmuel Chayim, Anonymous refuah shleima Etel Bas Matl. Yisrael Goldstein, Lil Nishmas Imi Marosi, Chana Yenta Bas Rav Nisan HaKoyen, Hayel, or 22nd yard side. Anonymous, dedicated in honor of a Bocher. Moshe Yosef HaKoyen and Shalamis Aliza as a schus for his continuous Limud HaTorah with MDY. Should keep on steiging away. Oh my gosh, the conglomerate. Happy 50th birthday to the OG Tzvi. I know who that is. I think we even showed a picture of him. But he says I called him Spiro. Chas v'shalom. Spiro. The Follow the Daf sponsors, Anonymous, L'Refuah Shlema, East Summer, Ephraim ben Chaya Blima, Month, Rachel and Alex Katz, in honor of their beautiful children. May they grow in Ahavas HaTorah in Yerushalayim. He's here today.
Starting school, starting cheder.
Starting cheder today.
Starting to learn Gemara today.
Wow, you're way ahead, way ahead. What cheder?
Shari Chesed, Talmud Torah.
What is it called?
Talmud Torah, Shari Chesed.
Talmud Torah, Shari Chesed? It's the real cheder? Wow. Gewaldig. Anonymous, what are they learning? What parak?
The second parak of Elu Mitzvah.
Which is? Elu Mitzias, maybe? No? It's not Shnai Moichzim. Shnai Moichzim, Elu Mitzias. Okay, it's Elu Mitzias. Elu Mitzias. He's going to learn about Yush Shalem Das, which is Mamsheh Kisram Hashem, today's daf. You're going to learn about Yush for a second, right before you learn, an hour before you go to school. Don't give up. Anonymous. Ziva Goga Mekar Mamish. The Shoshana Bro. He says, don't give up. He tells the kid, don't give up. That's what Yush means. The Shoshana Bracha Bashalamis, V'chaim David Ben Shalamis. They should have Zivugim Bekarov. I don't know. Did I tell you guys the update on the Shidduch initiative? 20. I did say yesterday. I don't have a new one. Okay. Innovations LLC has a schusvak Simcha Ben Fagin, Rivka Yehudis Bas Yavachai, and our kids too. Month MDYR L'Refur Shlema Mordechai Ben Esther L'Refur Ayelet Daniel Zev Ben Ayelet Esther. Boy Sai, what a phenomenal daf we have today. Almost like Kadosh Baruch was paying us back for the sugyas of Sochtoi, Efshel Sochtoi Mutter, Efshel Sochtoi Aser. Nir Divrei Rebbe Yehuda, Nir Divrei Rabbanon. But if Rebbe was talking about Min B'minoi, if the Machlokes is Min B'minoi, so he wouldn't say this, he'd say that. Whoa! What came out yesterday? Rabbi Sai, what's Efshar L'Sochtoi Mutter? Do we know what it means? Efshar L'Sochtoi Mutter. Of Rebel, you know what that means? Efshar L'Sochtoi Mutter means that if you could squeeze something out, you could squeeze the milk out of the meat, then it's mutter. We view the meat as if it's 100% kosher. That's it for today. I just wanted to make sure that Eilam remembers it. We might never see it again for another 7.5 years. But today's all stories, Rabbi Say. All stories, gishmak shein kamoyu. Don't get used to it. That's Daf Yomi. Some days you have the highs and the lows, but they're all highs. They're all gishmak. You just have to know how to enjoy it. It's all gewaldige stuff. Some people, I'll tell you the truth, I know people that can't even, they don't like agata. They want the juicy, the lumdus. They want to be stimulated mentally. Okay, but this is also gewaldig. Everything has a... Yesterday we had a great story of Yalta, the famous Yalta. I think she once broke 400 barrels. She was upset at her husband. Yalta and Rav Nachman. Yalta's Rav Nachman's wife. She says to Rav Nachman, if you could eat chazer, there's a way to taste what chazer is. How do you taste basar b'chalav? So he tells her, not a problem. You take the udder of a cow that's full of milk, you roast it and eat it. You'll taste basar b'chalav. So the Gemara asks, 2 lines from the bottom of Kuf Tesam and Beis. He missed the whole step. You have to tear it. You have to slice it. What was this? I don't know if we saw this one. Yeah, this is the udder. Shasi Veirev, B'toch B'koisel. The wall's wet. It's a little bit of a cross over there. Okay. Yeah, I know, but maybe we could, I don't know, maybe make it an X or something. Fine. But not non-koiroi. What happened to the tearing it? I'm not sure this whole Shasi V'erev and the Teichib the Koisel, that could be for other stuff, but tearing it. Says the Gemara, Ulik Deira, very good. If you want to cook it, then you have to tear it. Why? Because when you cook it, the milk goes out, the milk will come back in. Once it leaves the udder, then it becomes aser. When it's in the udder, so again, somebody came over to me after shir yesterday. There's a little bit of a confusion. If the milk is in the udder and you roast it, it's mutter to eat. We're going to see another shita, but that's what we're learning now. I will look there. Ask the Gemara of Aktani Shebishloi. Now, if you have a pencil, I would recommend even putting on top of this word. Shebishloi doesn't mean to cook. Over here, Shebishloi means to roast. It says, if you roast it, the evid in, it seems like that it's only after the fact, but not in the first place. You shouldn't go ahead and roast an udder. Says the Gemara, Adin, no. In the first place, you go ahead and roast an udder like this picture. It's mutter, no problem. We had yesterday this case, I'll just remind you, this beautiful, the case of where a calf drinks a lot of milk. Now the milk it skips the base hakos is beautiful, and the hemsas go straight directly into the keva. So now you have it, how do you say, sabur, it's not contained, gathered. It's gathered in one place. You have a bunch of, so why is this any different than an udder? It looks like an udder to me, but it's very different because it left the mother. Once it leaves the udder, the real udder, then it becomes usher. And it left the udder, so what if it's gathered in a place? It's also sometimes gathered in a milk bottle. That's not called gathered. So Mela, this is 100% usher. And I want to tell you that it's usher. There's no way, even after the fact, to roast this particular intestines and eat it. So to mimic that the reish and the sefer should sound the same, but there's no connection. When you roast an udder, the actual udder with the milk, it's mutter lechatchila. There's no rabbanan that'll tell you don't do it. It's not the right thing. Go ahead and do it.
Without chesed or even talking about themselves.
Yeah, we're talking about without. What are you doing down here? What's going on? Huh? I got it. I see what's going on up there. Kisolik Rebbe Lazar Ashkechel Zeiri. So when Rebbe Lazar went up to Eretz Yisrael, he bumped into Ziri. Omar lei iketana da asni l'Rav Kchal. So if you remember, we had two ways that Rav said it. They were both the opposite of each other. The first line on Kuf Tes on Beis, Rav said that if you roast a Kchal, it's 100% mutter. The second one was it's no good. It's also. Do you know who the Tano, who gave this over to Rav? Who told Rav that it's also? They pointed to Rav Yitzchak Bar Avdumi. They said he's the culprit. So they go over to him. They go to Rav Yitzchak Bar Avdumi. Why did you tell Rav that roasting the udder with the milk is also? No, I deny it. Let me tell you what happened. He found an open field. He found a valley, which is wide open. And when you find something that's wide open, you have to enclose it. You have to make it gather. That's what Chachamim do. They make the karnas. What happened? The Rav the flapush, the tatluf, the tatlufush. Rav had to go to tatlufush. He bumps into a woman. He overhears a woman telling her friend, Riva de Bistro Kama Chalava. Do you have the recipe? I'm now making a roast for my husband. How much milk should I put into the roast? Rav almost fainted. 2 Yidinas, Yirei Shamayim, normal women, talking mamish tosim. How much milk to put into the meat? What's going on here, Omar? Now we're going to stand over the bays. So you think, they're a little, they're a little modern, yeah? A little modern. Maybe they weren't so mad. There's no such thing in the time of the Gemara. You hear? A little modern. What's pshat? There's no such thing. You don't veer off. What happens if I decide, free will? I don't want to build a sukkah today. I don't want to shake a lulav. You know what happens? They break your bones. There's no such thing as I'm a little off. There's no such thing. So how do you have 2 women, nice religious women, who put milk into their meat when they cook? And they have no problem. They're discussing it out loud. They're not hiding it. What's the recipe? How much milk do you put in? You hear this? You're like the mumcha meat. How much milk? Somebody comes over. How much milk should I put into my steak? So Rav said, that's it. Omar like Gemir the boss of B'chalav. What's going on here? This place, they don't even know that you're not allowed to cook like this. Yaakov, he stayed around there, he stuck around, and he made sure because he says, you know what, I'll be like the Rambam. The Rambam says, if you want to get to the middle, and you're all the way to the left, you pull the tree all the way to the right, and maybe it'll bounce down to the middle. You don't tell people, it's us, bas b'chalav is us. You say, even the things that are mutter, even the udder in the milk, which is mutter to roast, I'm going to make a hister here. It's Xeri de Rabbanon. It's a gather because people don't know. Maybe it even started. Who knows if it started because her mother roasted a udder with milk, so she thought in her head, oh, you're allowed to have milk in the meat. What's the difference? A udder, a hamburger, it's all the same. If you roast it, you roast it. She said, you know what? We're going to ask her today, we're going to ask her all udders and milk. Rav Kahana Masnach. Rav Kahana says, yeah, that's exactly what happened. Rav Yosi bar Rabba Masni Hanok Chal Shel Min Nikos Shein Shenisi Loi. There's a Yisrael helper, and when he drove from Florida to Chicago just to watch the shir. He came to see his daughter. Derech Agav, he came to every shir. And he said, oh, Yishkoich, because I said once in shir about Fairbrooks, Indiana, there's a place, like between Chicago and Indianapolis. I used to drive there every week to my properties over there. It's a geschmacka place. They have thousands of cows, and they made it into an attraction. So you come in there, you give them like entry fees, like going to an amusement park. You give them money, and then you get on a school bus, like a yellow bus, and they have tons of buses. They're going constantly. Buses are full of people, and they take you right through the whole barn, and they show you the thousands of cows. Now, one of the attractions is they have a carousel that goes around, so you can see it online. It's like 70, I think I counted 72 slots. You have hundreds of cows waiting to get onto this carousel, and it makes one spin. I think it takes, I don't remember, let's call it 12 minutes. It turns around. When it makes a full circle, the cow backs up, out. She knows by herself, there's no people involved. And then the next cow gets in, and automatically, like a robot, puts a machine on and starts milking her. But they need to get milked, otherwise they have pain. And it works 24/7. All night long. These cows don't sleep, and they're waiting in line just to get milked. So that it's all automated. That's part of it. If you have a cow like that, that's mamish, full of milk, ready to go, then it's usher to roast the udder and the milk. Why? Because there's a lot of milk. On that, Chacham made a takana. I know. They also have a window there, a large window, and you can watch a birth. Constantly, they have cow births, the whole 24/7. So as the cow needs it, and all year long, I don't know what's going on there. It's crazy. 2, 3 at a time. It's mishigan. I don't call him an English in Israel. I don't know if you ever had the schus to hear a shir from Rabbi Didi Kramer. I learn with him every day for the last 8 years, and sometimes he assumes that I understand what he's talking about. Mendy understands what I'm saying. He learns with him also. No, he'll tell you like before we even start the sugya, he's like, I just saw the mutter, so according to Rabbi Yehuda, maybe it's not. So mail of that. What? What's Eshel Sachte Mutter? What are you talking about? Yeah. Talk to the simple person. Talk. So man's like this. Reb Chia thought that he's talking to Rav, okay? He's not talking to Eli Stefansky, he's talking to Rav. The Golad Dar. Later on became Golad Dar. Reb Chia was his Rebbe who wrote the Brises. So he's telling him, hey, you should not cook the khal. He figured there's no reason for me to waste words over and tell him, oh, I'm talking about a nursing cow. It's pashut. Rav should have understood this on his own. So you couldn't add those 2 words. It would have made, you wouldn't have to repeat 6 times what you're saying, just the 2 words. Oh, I thought you understand. Okay, sure. Anyway, so because he was so sharp, sometimes a person who's sharp doesn't realize what other people don't understand. He thinks everybody's on his level, and he says things. But Rav didn't get it. Says Rashi, he's very, very sharp. But maybe he thought his Talmidim chudadim k'moisai. He thought his Talmidim are as smart as him, like understand things. It's hard, like imagine you want to be a second grade Rebbe. It's hard to put yourself in their position and talk on their level. Says Gemara. Also, I think it's appropriate for us here in Ramat Bet Shemesh, but maybe for the whole world. Last night, as I was saying shir, there's a very thin wall between this Beis Medrash and the Beis Medrash behind us. In the Beis Medrash behind us, as I was giving shir, there's a hesped, a Remeir Turjuman. He's a person that davened in this room every single Shabbos. He's only 42 years old. He had 9 children. And 2 days after his son's bar mitzvah, but before the Aliyah Torah, because the Aliyah Torah was this Shabbos, and we went to the Aliyah Torah, he was killed in a car accident. Tremendous tragedy. person that davened here in MDY. And yesterday, 2 kids were stabbed. One died, and one, I don't know what the story is. In another situation, another block away, in Bet Shemesh, a kid was ran over by a car, killed. Tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. There's some people that get up and say, oh, Rabbi Sai, it's because, you don't do this, and you say this. I'm not going to guess, and I don't even try to attempt to guess. But the only thing I can say is that because Baruch was saying something. What? I don't know. Everybody has to make their own cheshbon nefesh. It's non-stop. The tragedies of the brother and sister that drowned the other week, and then in Uman, and in this, and it's like every day something else, a crazy tragedy. Young people, young kids, little kids, huh?
Kids stabbed.
Yeah.
So before Rosh Hashanah, this is the Gzar Din of last year Rosh Hashanah. We have to make a cheshbon nefesh. Everybody figure out what society is doing, I don't know, and what you yourself privately are doing. Everybody make their own cheshbon. One thing not, I have trauma from this. When I was a kid, a woman got killed in a car accident, and then they asked the whole school, I think it was in Tashbar then, they said everybody should come to this Levaya. We come to Levaya, and a Rav got up there and says, the reason why this happened is because women shouldn't be driving. And I remember as a little kid, I was maybe 10 years old, and I'm thinking to myself, well, how does he know? Why? What? He spoke to Rebbeinu Shalom. He knows, I guess, because my mother used to drive, so I didn't like it so much. But it's like that's the reason. That's the reason. Fine, but everybody figure out their own reason. But something Hashem is knocking on the door over here. It's Nervayim. Tragedy in our neighborhood. I'm talking about over here. Rav and Rav Chizah bar Yosef iklu lebei Rav Papi. Aisel kamayut avshilo dekchal. Story time. Rabbi Sai. 2 G'dolim, Rav and Rav Yitzchak bar Yosef, they went to Rav Papi's house. So they served them this beautiful, it's hard to find today, they don't really sell it. Some people say it's illegal. Benny said no, he used to sell it. Some otter with milk. Rav Yitzchak bar Yosef ochal. Rav Yitzchak took it, he started eating. Rav and lo yochal. Rav refused to eat. Omer Abayo. Rav and takala amay lo yochal. It's a very strong lashon, it's an interesting lashon. He says, Ravin, who didn't have children, Rashi says he lost all his children. He called him like a strong name. Amay lo yochal. Why wouldn't you eat? Think about it. If, let's say, Reb Chaim Kanievsky's daughter cooked something for you, you know, where did she grow up? Where? Think she made this stuff up? You think this is the first time she's making this recipe? You grew up in a Gadol's house, you know what's going on. Michli devisu de Rav Papi, the wife of Rav Papi, who cooked this food, Brati de Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha Havi. She's the daughter of a Gadol. Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha Mori Duvda. He's the master of stories. He's the one that's super medactic in all mitzvahs. He's Baal Moifas, Mori Duvda. He's like a Baal, Mori Baal Duvda of Moifas, like of stories. All the stories of that generation went through him. He did this, he did that. If she didn't see it in her father's house, it's much like a raya, like a lahalacha sort of. If this woman is cooking it, I know that her father was okay with it. Besura, and Abaye calls him like Takala, Rav and Takala. You don't have any kids. Don't you see who's cooking this food here? This is important to see over here. In Surah, this is Bavel, right? Surah is down on the bottom, down south, and up north over here is Pumpadisa, at least on this map. So in Surah, they wouldn't eat it. It's important to remember this for the upcoming story. In Surah, they didn't eat it, in Pumpadisa, they ate it. Listen, last night the Olam liked this, so I'm going to show it as an interesting ending.
All right, Lichvoid Shabbos Kodesh.
It's paying, sorry.
Let's go! We're starting with everybody's favorite recipe, dairy cholent.
Oi, this is great.
How do you make it? With Nadman, it's simple. Take 4 potatoes, chop them up, throw them into the pot, And most importantly, for every kilo of meat, add U liters of milk.
What? Did it freeze? What's going on? Oh, it's back.
Hi everyone, we're back, and today, dairy cholent. Oh, great! But without milk. And instead of regular meat, dun-dun-dun, we'll use kahal, and of course, we'll cut it properly according to the instructions of the Rabbani. But hey, no sadness, no guys. The main thing is always to be happy.
Okay. Givaldi. So, Rabbi Bar Tamer. Here's the story. Rabbi say, listen to this name. Rami, the son of a date. Rami Bar Tamer. He happens also to be Rami Bar Dekule. He's the son of a palm tree. So it's basically the same thing, almost the same name. One is taking the fruit of that tree or the actual tree. But his name, let's call him Rami Bar Tamer. Maybe Pumbedisa. He's from Pumbedisa. We said already that when you live in Pumbedisa, you eat kchal. You eat the kchal. And he traveled all the way down here to Surah. Boom. Okay. Ikla the Surah b'mali yom Kippurei. On the day, Erev Yom Kippur, when everybody's eating, it's a mitzvah to eat. We learned, according to Rabbi Glili, that that was one of the 4 days that they would shech tremendous amount of animals. Apkinu kuli alma, they're in Surah, they don't eat the kchal, so they all threw it into the garbage. Apkinu kuli alma l'chalayu shadinu, they threw it out. Azaliyu, so he goes into the garbage can, naktinu achlinu, he found a nice kchal in the garbage, he went and he ate it. So they bring him to Rav Chizda as a punishment. We have this guy, he just showed up here. What's going on here? He's eating chal, noirvayim. What's your problem? I come from Pumbedisa. Rav Yehuda eats it. When you come to a new place, there's a Mishnah in Psachim tells you got to keep the chumras of the new place. And not only that, if somebody from Surah, let's say, goes to Pumbedisa, he cannot eat kal. He has to keep his chumras from his original place. You always have to go to the biggest chumrah. Don't worry about it. I didn't eat it inside Surah. I walked outside 2,000 amas. I ate it over there. Rav Chizda is grilling him, literally. And if you went out of the tchum, where did you find the firewood? With the grape seeds. How did you know that you're able to use it? Maybe somebody, it's like he was not happy with him that he ate the chal. What kind of business is it? Eating chal? Maybe it's yayin nezach, maybe it's also nano. I noticed that they were 12 months old. It already, the date of Isser expires, you're allowed to eat it. V'dilma, the gazel have it. How do you know? Maybe it's owned by somebody. Who told you you're allowed to take it? They say that a guy once found a yarmulke that said on it, nanach on it. So he goes to the rabbi. He says, what do I do with this? He says, look, there's a lot of these yarmulkes. It's not a siman. Nanach is not a siman. But one thing I can tell you, they definitely didn't have yush. And yush b'olam klal. Yush b'olam, you hear? Yush. They didn't give up. Tell your Rebbe the joke, see if he likes it. But they must have given up, even if it was owned by somebody. The kat chubu chilfei. There's already growing grass on it. This is old stuff. Nobody cares about it. Rav Chizda doesn't give up. He's trying to find a hole here. I have a manach tefillin. In the time of the Gemara, people would wear tefillin all day. Me'ikar hadin, we're supposed to wear tefillin all day long. The reason we don't wear tefillin is because we're weak. We don't know how to keep a clean body, maybe our machshavas. But people would walk in the street, everybody would walk in the street, and it's a taina. He's upset at him. What kind of businesses are you walking around? Not today you walk with tefillin, you're a Meshugana or you're a little Zilberman, okay, you're special, you belong in the old city. You're not wearing tefillin. Maybe it's a good excuse to give you a little bit of a lashing here. Why aren't you wearing tefillin? I have an intestinal problem. I have a bad stomachache. Rabbi Yankel Galinsky in Europe, he was walking with his friend in the street. It was very dangerous because Rabbi Yankel Galinsky had papers and his friend didn't have papers. And if you get stopped without papers, oy vavoy. Sure enough, they're walking and a cop comes right towards them. So Rabbi Yankel Galinsky starts running. He runs, goes through the alleys, the cop starts chasing him. Meanwhile, the other guy ran away. It was just and when the cop caught up to him, it was a decoy. Cop comes out and says, "Where's your papers?" He pulls out his papers. He says, "Oh, so you have papers, so why were you running?" He said, "No, I had a stomachache." Just take a stomachache. The stomachache story. He's quoting his Rebbe again. I'm from Pumbedisa, so Rav Yehuda is my Rebbe, and Rav Yehuda holds that somebody that has a stomach issue, he's sick, he's potem in tefillin. He noticed that he's wearing Dalit kamfas, he's wearing tzitzis without tzitzis, he's wearing the beggar without the strings. Okay, nacha excuse. What's going on here? What kind of person are you? You're not wearing tefillin, you don't have tzitzis. This is a borrowed garment. V'omer Rav Yehuda, again, he quotes his Rebbe, Talis Shu'ula kol shloishim yoim p'turim min hatzitzis. Says Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, the famous Reb Chaim Shmulevitz on this sugya, he says, Rami Bar Tamri, listen to this, he's so poor that he doesn't even have his own clothing, he's borrowing somebody's clothing. He's so sick that he can't wear tefillin. He's so poor that he has to go into the garbage can and pull out a kchal and get into trouble over it, and he walks to who knows where, and he makes a fire with grape seeds. He's not doing well. Why can't he just knock on the door on Erev Yom Kippur and say, I need a meal, and somebody would be happy to give him a meal on Erev Yom Kippur. We need schusim. Says Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, from here you see that, do you have it, Gary? Do you have a video of last night of that kid saying it? Chaval. מה לשון, אבל בקול.
שעוד נבלה בשוק ואל תזדקק לבריות.
וואו. כל הכבוד. רגע. אני לא יודע אם זה קשר מספיק בשבילך. תשאל את אבא שלך. זה משהו אמריקאי. We had a 10-year-old yesterday that said Lashon. I brought him to the front, yeah? עשי שבת חול ואל תצטרך לבריאות. עשי שבת חול ואל תצטרך לבריאות. Good. This idea of not coming onto people, trying to get along on your own, even a person who's sick and even a person who doesn't have what he needs, but rather than asking people, try to get along on your own. Says the Gemara, we're going weiter. Oh, should I say this? The sponsor? Sponsored. Chodesh El, Encore Healthcare, as a schus for Klal Yisrael, this Elul, Shmuel Over Schuster, as a schus for Yimadin, Adar Global Specialist in International Financial Services, Tzvila Betkin, L'zeich Nishmas Elio, Beryl Ben, Shmuel Chaim. I didn't show you this video yet, I don't think, but I want to show it to you and tell me what you think in terms of what could be a problem in the first 10 seconds of this video. We're going to show this video every day of the entire Chodesh Elul and try to find what mistake did you see here now? Okay, so I just want to show it to you again because just in case nobody stood up. Nobody stood up for the Rashiva over here. It's a bayah. Okay, fine. Be'ez Hashem, every day of Elul will be zeichet to see. Okay. So. Adahachi, 2 lines from the top of Kuf Yud Vav Beis. Adahachi Yaisu, while Rav Chiz is trying to punish Rami Bar Tamri, Adahachi Yaisu lahu gavrod lehav a moiker avu v'imei kaftu. Listen to this. It's they lived in a different generation. We live in a different generation today. The reason he's Machal Shabbos, we have to understand, we have trauma, this, that. The guy didn't give the proper amount of respect to his parents. So they brought him in to Bezdin, and they tied him down to a beam. And they're about to give him lashes. Mamish, like last week's parasha, shoiftim v'shoitrim titnu l'cha.
Or like this week's parsha.
Is it? Ben Sarah Meyer, but they didn't give lashes. Yeah, okay. Mamish, this week's parsha was somebody that didn't do namakayim kibbut aveim. You're right. Somebody asked the Chazon Ish, how are you zurich to be the Chazon Ish? So you think the Chazon Ish was a chayil mayim. He was very sick. And most of his life, he laid in bed. And most of his Torah was in bed, and with a lot of Yisurim. Also, the woman he married is questionable. She was 100%, and he didn't want to break the shidduch, never had children. A lot of Yisurim, a lot of Yisurim, and learning Torah with tremendous eon, and wrote on the entire Kol HaTorah Kula, every small part of Shas, of Mishnayos, Zroim, Kachim, everything, in all areas, whether it's the date line, and this, everything. So somebody asked him, how are you zoicha? They thought he's going to say, because I heard of it, and when he was younger, he used to learn 6 hours straight without moving, and the whole, he said, because I was mechabed avi v'imi, kibbut aveim, tremendous kibbut aveim. Omar Lahu, so Rami Batamra was over there, Omar Lahu, shivku, leave him, you can't tie him to a beam. The Sanya, Kol mitzvah asay shematan schar b'tzida. The Torah tells you what the mitzvah, what the schar is. Zarichas yamim, you're going to live long years. So if that's the schar, you don't have, in bezin shalamata muzar moleh, says Rashi. The Torah tells you this is, the punishment is, you're not going to get long years. You don't have the right to add punishment, double jeopardy. Now in New York, double jeopardy. Yeah, it already has a punishment. You're going to give another punishment? Here. This I love the name of the nursing home. It's Atash Lecheni Lezikna or something.
Happy 80th birthday, Dad.
What is this place, son?
My birthday present to you.
Goodbye, and good riddance. Is that how you honor your father?
What? But what business is it of yours?
You forgot? Beis Din can compel someone to fulfill a mitzvah's aseh.
Leave him alone! It's enough that he won't receive the reward promised in the Torah, a long life. There's no need to hit him.
Look at this Rashi over here. They tied him down to a beam. Says Rashi. If a person has a positive commandment in front of him, he doesn't want to do it. Keep going. How come you're not building a sukkah? They get into his kishkas. Build a sukkah. I say lulav. He doesn't want to shake lulav today. I had trauma when I was younger. My father forced me to shake lulav. I don't want it today. They beat him till he loses his life. That was the generation then.
Missed those days.
That's the halacha. That's the halacha. Today, the people, we know better. The problem is we don't beat our kids enough. That's the problem. Now they're going to quote it. It's going to be a whole thing. All right. So says the Gemara, Omar le chazina loch the charifas tuva. I see it very sharp. So the Chassam Sofer, others ask, what do you mean he's very sharp? He didn't say one chiddush. Everything he said, he quoted from Rav Yehuda. Rav Yehuda said, you're allowed to eat out of the tchum. Rav Yehuda said this, don't take him off, don't beat him up because it's a matan schar b'tzida. Where's the charifus exactly? So you remember it. So they say, it's one thing to remember. It's one thing to apply it to something that's relative to you. And when you know how to take halacha and apply it to something, and you apply it to something that's neged to you right now. How do I eat this chal? Okay, I walk outside, I go that way. I do this, I do. He showed a charifus. That's charif. Omar Lei, he says, oh, I see you're very sharp. Omar Lei, Rav Chizda tells Rami bar Tanra, you're very sharp. Omar Lei, so Rami bar Tanra tells him back, if I was there and put bedisa with Rav Yehuda, then I'll really show you how sharp I am. There's a video, I didn't see it. It came in at 2 a.m. in the morning from Yoshi. It's Rami bar Tanra. Bezin Tzedek of Maran or of Chizda. Okay. So Zog the Gemara, what?
No one wore tefillin.
No one wore tefillin? In the whole video?
Yeah, in the shul.
Shul, Right. No, he should have been different than everybody else. Omar le Rabbi le Rav Safra. Kisalkis lahosam. When you go to Eretz Yisrael, boy minayu kavdo matum bei. You should ask in Eretz Yisrael, what do you do with the liver? In other words, liver, we said it's all, basically it's blood, and it's mutter. There's a special heter in the Torah that you're allowed to eat liver. But what happens if you cook liver? Does it change anything? Ma'atum bei. He saw like Ashkel Reb Zeres, he goes to Eretz Yisrael and he sees Reb Zreika. Omer lei, I know, shalkilei Reb Ami v'achal. I actually cooked it for Reb Ami, and he ate it. So in the beginning of this year, we're saying that the udder, you cook it, and the milk goes out, and then comes back in, it's problematic. So why isn't there that kind of problem with the liver? You cook it, blood goes out of the liver, comes back into the liver, maybe it should be problematic. No, Reb Ami ate it. So he came back to Abaye and he told him what he saw. I never had a problem about the liver itself. I know they could cook a liver and eat it. Why? Because I'm not concerned that the blood is going to go back into the liver as long as it's being cooked. Cooking makes the blood leave. It's a one-way. You know, it pushes the blood out. It doesn't allow the blood to come in as long as it's cooking. What if you cook a liver in the same pot as a chont, let's say, and it has other meats in there? Perhaps the blood of the liver will go into the meat. So he says, why were you so certain about the halacha of the liver itself that you're allowed to eat the liver? That you didn't have a shiloh. Why? This nan, because it's a Mefurish Mishnah, the liver itself doesn't become asur when you cook it. So if so, so you shouldn't have a question at all about other meat. Why? Because that's also Mefurish Mishnah. It's not. If you know Mishnayis, you know Mishnayis. So you should know both answers. The answer for the actual liver, you know from the Mishnah. So the answer for the meat, the friends of the liver, you should also know the answer. What does it say in the Mishnah? It makes other meat asur. It makes other meat asur. And it itself is not asur. So if you know that answer, you should know this answer. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.